Hey guys, welcome back to the channel one more time. If you're new here, my name is Butch from Before It's Too Late Outdoor Adventures. Uh, I'm actually in the same camp spot I was in the last video, or the same campground. I'm in a different spot, and as you can see, I'm not in the van cave. I'm in the Rusty Red Explorer. I got it packed down with stuff, got a tent in there and everything else. It's been raining every night for I don't know how long. Rained all night last night, got up this morning, it was still raining, quit for a little bit, then started again, and now it's starting again. I'll give you a, I'll get you turned around here and I'll show you the campground and why I'm not down at my favorite spot. So let me shut this off and I'll get right back with you. All right, guys, I'll show you what we're up against here. This is, there's the river there, of course. We are up on the hill because the road going down to the bottom where I like to camp, well, there's actually somebody over there. But if you can see, you can't drive through the road from right here. And over where that guy's at's where I normally camp, and the water is creeping up over the bank there. There's actually, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches of standing water all the way back up in that grass. But the river is up, keeps coming up, and don't see for any chance for it to slow down anytime soon. So we're taking advantage of the rest of the park. And needless to say, we're the only ones here. For some reason, this park's been kind of empty all year. I remember a time when you had to get here like on Wednesday and pay for it and set your tent up to be able to camp on the weekends. But the last few years, it hadn't been like that. We do have a playground. That's why I'm 300 foot away from it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, people. But have a pit toilet and an empty campground for now. I am expecting company. Blaine from Flatbroke Outdoors is going to be here in a couple of hours. So I thought I would come on out here and try to get something set up. I'm going to try to set the Slumberjack up off the side of that Explorer. And I think Blaine has a new rig, and he doesn't have anything set up yet. So he's going to be sleeping in a tent. And I thought, well, if you're going to be in a tent, I'll just bring a tent. Might have been a bad decision on my part. I could be laid up in the van cave, but we're going to give it a go. All right, guys, I'll get you shut off and I'll get back with you when we get something else going. All right, guys, I got a little bit of my stuff set up. I got the Slumberjack up there, and then I got my little 1-burner stove set up. And I don't know what I was thinking. I only brought the 1-burner one, but there'll come a time. Well, Blaine, he's probably bringing a 2-burner, probably the Coleman or his all the orange 2-burner ones we both have. But we should have plenty of burners when we get serious about cooking. And that's about all I've done. Set up that tarp, my stove, the water station, hung a lantern over there from a tree, got it on a rope where we can pull it up and down. That hopefully it'll light up, you know, the picnic table and the fire pit over there. That I actually I I brought wet firewood. That's what I did. I got it from out at my wife's camper, and it's been sitting in a pile all damn summer. Well, since back in the winter, really. I split it in the winter, I guess, or the end of winter. But it's been rained on every time you turn around, so I brought that because that's just the kind of guy I am. You can count on me to bring wet wood, hot beer, half a bag of potato chips. But anyway, I'll try to do better. All right, I'm gonna go over there and fool with that fire. Flatbroke should be here pretty soon. We were thinking about 5:30, and it's 5:45 now. I do know he had to make a stop before he got here, and probably ought to check my phone, make sure he hadn't called and asked me where I'm really at. But he is kind of familiar with the area. I bet he can hunt me down. All right, guys, get back with you in a little bit. All right, guys, welcome back. As you can see, there's an extra chair and a table over there now. So that means Flatbroke Outdoors is on the scene.
Howdy, kids.
And that's his new ride over there. You can't, well, you can't see what's going on from here, but it's obviously not set up yet for his type of camping. Let's go over here and look. I'll give you a panoramic view. Anyway, that's his new ride. I don't think that hard tonneau cover is going to last on there long. So if you want to buy that, get a hold of Flatbroke Outdoors, and he'll probably make you a deal on it. All right, guys, we're going to sit around here and fix something to eat. I do have some jalapeno poppers in that oven over there. And then we're going to scratch up something else here in a minute, and we're going to eat supper. Did get the fire going. You can't tell it from here hardly. Not much of a fire, but anyway, we'll get back with you later. All right, guys, let me show you what we're up against here. That is some diced up wild turkey breast that I smoked with some peppers and onions. And if everything works according to plan, we are gonna throw some of this Zatarain Spanish rice in there and a can of diced tomatoes. And hopefully we can cook it down where it's thick enough to put on some tortillas and put some of this best you can buy for nearly nothing picante sauce on it and some shredded cheese. And let's take a look at our jalapeno poppers real quick. Oh,
I'd put them up too high to see.
You can kind of see them. Waiting on that bacon on top to get a little crispier. We'll probably burn them on bottom, but anyway, it'll be good enough for who it's for. All right, Blaine, you're up. Hey guys, this is what we're looking at. That is some Spanish rice, diced up wild turkey breast that I smoked, a little bit of peppers and onions. Now we got to cook it down enough to where we can put it on one of these finest cheap tortillas you can get.
It says right there it's the best choice.
Oh, it's best choice. And we do have a little bit of picante sauce over there with a little repel. And we'll throw some shredded cheese on there. Eat those jalapeno poppers. They are done. We just got them in there staying warm. While Blaine's trying to finish this up, I'm going to go over there and fan that fire and see if we'll have something to set by when we get ready to eat. All right, guys, get back with you in a minute. Morning, folks. It's about 6:30 in the morning, and it is 61 degrees. Man, it feels good out here. After the heat wave we've had for all summer, it is real nice out here, but it's not deterring the mosquitoes any. There's just enough mosquitoes to mess you up. Looks like the water is still coming up because there's not near as much of that little rock left over there as there was yesterday. And that's the parking lot for the boat ramp, but you can't really get to it from anywhere. I guess if you was in your truck, you could tip across there, but you know what they say, turn around, don't drown. Oh, but
Tell you how many times I've drowned in my life.
no, but we got some coffee made this morning, and that's all we've done so far. We're kind of scheming on breakfast and fighting mosquitoes. Blaine sprayed some camp fogger around the camp up there, and then we picked up our phones and came down to the river, so we don't know if it worked or not. We'll get back with you when we find out, though. All right, we're about to have some breakfast around here. I made biscuits. Well, actually, I made one biscuit. I got lazy. I didn't have my biscuit cutter with me, so I threw it in the pan and mashed it flat. Hope it turns out. Got some hash browns there. Got some sausage gravy there. Got some bacon there. And since I only had one burner on my little stove and I had the oven on it baking a biscuit, Blaine got tricked into cooking everything else. So now if he'd make me another cup of coffee, and I think he's got some chicken eggs gonna go in. Anyway, we're gonna do like usual, eat too much and lay around and not do nothing. So I'll see you later. We're gonna eat this. We have strangers in the camp. I bet she don't even get out of the truck. She sees this camera. That's proof I really do have a wife. She's coming out here to make one of them shady used car deals with Flat Broke Outdoors, I think. But she's supposed to be bringing Doritos. There you go.
Well,
all right, guys, I'm going to cut this camera off before she scolds me. All right, folks, Blaine is over there whooping us up some lunch. You ought to see what he's got going. Them fried bologna right there in the skillet. Got some cheese over there, a little bit of mustard. Do have some ketchup in there too if you just want mustard and ketchup on your fried bologna sandwich. But that's going to be our lunch. Man, we hadn't done nothing. I did go get some more firewood a while ago. Since my wife showed up to drop us off some goodies, we loaded up in her little truck and I went and got more wood. You can't see it because my chair's in the way, but we got enough for a fire for tonight anyway. Maybe enough for in the morning. We don't burn it all up before then. Yeah. All right, guys, we're out of here for now. Hey, guys, Blaine is stirring up a concoction over here you will not believe. That started out as some grilling beans and a can of pork and beans, bell peppers, some other kind of little red peppers. We went through that last night. And pound of ground beef, 4 long bun length hot dogs cut up in there. That's going to be a fine supper right there.
That's cowboy beans, redneck style.
Yeah. And then Blaine trying to get me all violated on the YouTube with him and Conway Twitty was plotting against us. So he had to cut that off. I'm going to take you down there in a little bit and show you the difference in the river from yesterday or this morning even and right now. Y'all ain't going to believe this, folks, but we're going to go look at it. Other than that, we'll be right here if you need us. All right, welcome back, folks. Let me show you this river. You know, yesterday, when we first started, you could see the grass over there behind those rocks and those other 2 primitive campsites. The water has completely covered it. And it, you know, it wasn't nowhere near this high yesterday. Let me back up here. But now it's all the way over in the parking lot over there. So, got a little log washed up there. And I don't know if you can see it or not. There is a huge log floating down the river over there. But this is what we're up against. And I guess they got a lot more rain up north yesterday too. So I don't know when this thing is going to crest. I went to get some firewood earlier, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a car coming down a county road over there. And I would venture to say he's going to have to turn around. Because when I went through there about 3 or 4 hours ago, the water was already up about a quarter of a way across the road. But maybe he's confident enough to drive through it, because it should be over the road by now. Excuse me. But if it's somebody local, they just don't care. Oh yeah, he's in the water now. He's slowing down. Well, he's about stopped. I don't know if you can even see him. Oh yeah, he's nosing off in it. Boy, he is a goob. There ain't no way I'd do that. But I've done dumber stuff, I guess. But he made it through the water, it looks like. All right, guys, I'm going to shut you off, and I don't know. We'll let you know if anything else happens.
There. That's as much zoom as I got. There's a nice little family of rabbits living over here. So I'm actually quite a ways from them.
Hey, guys, we have messed around today, and we have not done anything. Went down, watched the river come up, And it is, I don't know how far it's rose today, but it's came way up. So needless to say, we are not going to do our canoe trip this go around. Not sure when we'll be able to, but hopefully before the summer's over anyway. Not, I guess it'll be ice fishing, but sat around, we ate a bunch as usual, too much. I guess in the morning, sometime, probably after breakfast, we'll start packing up. What little we've got to really pack up. Uh, Hardest part about the whole thing is probably going to be putting the refrigerators in the trucks and taking that slumberjack down. About as complicated as it'll get. So we're going to try to burn up the rest of the firewood and call it an evening, and we'll see y'all in the morning. So other than that, you get it? Let me try. Good morning, campers. It looks like the river's still rising a little bit. It may have crested, I don't know. But we got a lot more water than we had yesterday afternoon when we were down here. This is, I guess, technically day 3 that we've been out here. And I believe after breakfast this morning, we're going to pack everything up and head out. Blaine's going to head up to Wisconsin. I'm going to head home. And I'll be honest with you, we never did pitch a tent. He slept in his truck. I slept in the back of that Explorer. And I had a layer of those Harbor Freight foam mats in there and my little self-inflating air mattress, which you got to help it because it don't self-inflate all the way, and a sleeping bag. Well, I was on a slight angle, which was fine because my head was uphill, except for one thing. That slick-ass nylon sleeping bag kept slipping on that inflatable air mattress. There wasn't, I mean, that stuff was slick. Every time you'd wake up, you'd be wadded up down by the tailgate in the Explorer. So I fought that for 2 nights, but we made it. I mean, there's a lot better ways to camp, and if I'd have put some thought into it, I could have done a lot better. But I actually planned on pitching a tent. But anyway, it worked out. We've had some good food, had some good times, good fires. So it's been successful overall. But I think once we get breakfast done today, we'll start packing up, which that shouldn't take no time. Hardest thing we've got to do, or I've got to do, is pack up that slumberjack and fold up that table. But other than that, nothing to it. So I'll get back with you around breakfast time, and we'll go from there. Let me see if I can give you a shot of the river that's beautiful or something. There's a fish jumped right out there. I don't know if I caught that or not. But as you can see, water is all the way up in this parking lot over here now. So, and everything over there is underwater except for the biggest of the boulders. But it'll go down. We'll be able to get on the river before you know it. All right, guys, I'll get you cut off, and we'll see you, I don't know, either during or after breakfast. All right, guys, we are done, I suppose. Got everything packed up, cleaned up. Still need to get my little slip off the post there, and that one paper towel. One quick stop by the dumpster up here, and we'll be out of here. It's been fun. We were sitting here a while ago, just kind of easing around, packing stuff up. Blaine was over on the other side of his truck, and I turned around and looked, and here came a baby deer just running across here, and it got right here in the middle of our camp. And I hollered at Blaine. I said, Blaine, look at this. Well, it kind of checked up a little bit and looked at us, and then you could tell it was confused then, and it ran over the hill there. And I mean, it was close enough I could have jumped on it. Of course, I ain't gonna jump on no baby deer. But anyway, we got this one done. It's been a good time. The weather really cooperated, man. If it hadn't cooled off, we couldn't have made it out here, I don't think. But tell you what, our next adventure may be a canoe trip if the water ever goes down in the river.
You didn't see me back behind.
No,
waving like Forrest Gump.
Slipped it up on me. All right, guys, that's gonna be it. We're gonna cut you off and see you on the next go around. Get a chance, hit like and subscribe.